live really badly down in the chat section, but until I go and hit start streaming, we never really know when we've gone live. So it doesn't even tell me that, it just tells me the event is starting. So I think we're live. So on that note, good morning, I'm Matt and welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now those of you which are on the live version, if you can let me know if the audio is good or not, as the case may be, that would be really appreciated. Now, what do we have on the topics list for you this morning? Number one, we have Burn Bitches. We'll find out about that one in a moment. We have The Revenge. We'll have Bird or Turd as a topic this morning. Happy days. Thank you, Lauren, for letting me know the audio is good. We will be discussing the WRA Spec Wing, which is just there. We'll also be discussing the Revenge Wing. Oh, I've got an update. I need to go and get that. We'll be discussing the Free Wing. So I haven't got round to doing the, what should we call it yet, the maiden of this one. I've got the video footage, and she flew brilliantly. And she flew so well. Oh yeah, don't mock me for my jeans. I wear it at the knees very quickly. And fashion really isn't my strong point. Anyway, she flies so well, I've committed to put an Eagle Tree Vector in there. So we will be having a discussion about her as well. I need to sit it down somewhere. What else do we have on the list for you this morning? Number one, Talon Trio update. We'll have a quick update on that one. We've also got a new format for some episodes coming out very shortly called Model Mondays as well. You'll find out about that more as well. Oh, Fame Board. Anybody guess what that one is yet? I will give you maybe a little hint. Anybody recognise the box? Let me know. You can do that in the live chat, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. By the way, that's always awkward because it's on the wrong side of the screen for me. Anyway, shh, tell no one. Right, let's get into today's topics. Like I said, topic number one is called Burn Bitches. And it's a little bit disappointing. The missus has sent the Sidewinder back, so I can't set fire to it. There was a post in the Facebook group, literally just I popped in a couple of days ago. Fire or not to fire? That is the question which I asked, and the full intention of just lobbing them all in the cement mixer. And those of you which don't know the background to this and are relatively new to the channel, is that we had, what was it, the Decathlon Scout, a really bad balsa plane and something else. And I put some petrol in a cement mixer and threw the models in there. And we did it live. The only slight issue is that Matty put too much petrol in the cement mixer and burnt all the paint off the cement mixer, and it's never recovered. Poor thing. And I did my best to look after that cement mixer too. And then Johnny Builder turns up and goes, "Matt, what have you done?" And I'd set fire to it. So, we won't be setting fire to them, but my office does still stink of rotten pixie dust from the Yak 55. And I've cut out the big nose section. Actually, she is, you'll have to excuse me, just put my back to you a moment. She is here. That is how much I've had to cut out the nose of that one. And I was also thinking, my daughter's she's suddenly shown an interest in flying. So, to be honest, rather than setting fire to them, which they probably all deserve to be set fire to, instead I'm going to give them the send-off of all send-offs and let my daughter fly them. And if she stuffs them in, I will laugh my head off in true Matt fashion. So that's probably the best send-off. Oh, and I did like someone else's comments of doing a chimp creation. I did think about the Super Kinetic with the Yago whack wings on. That has made me chuckle many, many times. We might have to do that. Of course, assuming that this Kinetic, not the Super Kinetic, just the Kinetic, is capable of being rescued. Right, let's move on. The Revenge. Yes. Oh, whoops. Matty made a mistake. You know, in that unboxing which we did a couple of nights ago, and you know, stuff just ends up just getting thrown off and flying off the desk as we go, because I need to keep the desk clear so that we can progress as we're going on live. What I actually made, and I'm just there looking for it, I don't know what I did with it, made a bit of a mistake, right? So here's the Revenge. Like I said, it was going to be a very, very simple build. She's already been painted, okay? Now, Matty couldn't find the bit of block of foam at the back of the model for the motor mount to go on. So I just cut up a piece of black EPP, because there was loads of EPP foam in the kit, you know, and went from there and glued it all up. Now the thing is that I have to put my hands up and admit that I did find this white block of very, very dense EPP underneath the desk, cut into that perfect shape for the motor mount. So whoopsie daisy, Matt's got to uncut or cut that piece of foam out today, and then I will. And again, this one's really quite sturdy. Don't get me wrong. If for anybody else, I'm sure it would be fine. But to be honest, because I'm going to put such a large can motor on the back of it, and now seeing how ridiculously dense that foam provided is, I am going to take the time to cut it out and replace it with the supplied block, because this foam, it's got a bit of a squeeze to it. The density on the other foam, it's like a brick. So I will be swapping that one over on mine. Sorry, I did make a bit of a whoopsie. But do you like the paint job? Did come out rather well. I did use the clear coat trick. Now, if you don't know about this trick, is that what you can do, you can put your tape on your wings, and then you always get bleed through. Let me put that right up so you can see. You always get bleed through somewhere. You see there's some little bit of white patches of paint there. And I tried the clear coat trick, which is that once you put your tape on, you spray it with clear coat and then let it go off, on the premise that the clear coat will bleed underneath, and that means when you put your colour on top, it won't bleed through because the clear coat's already been and blocked up the holes. That kind of worked, but you'll see that I still did get quite a bit of bleed through. So I will be going over the white stuff with some, with a black Sharpie pen just to smarten her up. But she does look the nuts, and besides that back end on her, which won't take me very long to cut out today, and I'll get that glued in. That'll only take about, say, an hour or so to dry up, because I'll be using E6000 glue on the tail end. Very, very straightforward build. There's the underside. There is a build episode, or part of a build episode on this one on YouTube already. There's a link to that in the Facebook group. The one note which I mentioned in there is that the other two models which I've seen, which were Richard B's and Dave's, is that both of them I put the servo lines along the top. I don't have that on mine, so instead what I've done on mine is run them underneath, and that's much, much cleaner. I do like models with a very clean top, or as clean as possible. Hence you'll see that that's why I sprayed over the servos, to try and mask them a little bit down there as well. So she's looking good. You just type that in there as well. Julian, I did spot your chat there. She is looking good, and she'll be ready for the weekend to go out and smash her around some trees. Laminating, this one will be dead easy. There's only one bit of constructive feedback which I've got for this model, and look out for the build like Prog Part 1 on it. Because that's the only bit of feedback which I have on this model now after getting this far in. The rest of it is just like dead easy from there. So that's the Revenge, 40 quid, bargain, you know. Right, and next topic, we'll go to bird or turd. Now, some of you may have seen the discussion in the Facebook group. I'll leave you to go and take a look. And let me, actually you didn't see what I was chatting about. Let me go to standard screen. There we go. So that's the post which I was chatting about, whether to fire or not to fire, as the case may be. And there was 10 of you which didn't suggest that we set fire to it. But the vast majority of the group suggested we should set fire to it. Anyway, moving on, we're having a little bit of a vote at the moment called bird or turd. And we're trying to work out, is this going to be a bird, like an enjoyable one to fly, or is it just going to be a complete turd? Don't really know. As far as I can tell, it's a mini Skywalker with a centre mounted wing with some dihedral in it. Now, there's a lot of bad things you can say about this model, but there are positives, like it's got dihedral. And as much as I could slate this model, I do keep in the back of my mind, and I'm sure you keep in the back of your mind too, is that the mini Skywalker isn't that bad. It's not that bad. It's a fun model. There's 4, 5, 6 of us which own mini Skywalkers at the Funny Farm, because they're just indestructible, and when you do knock something off like a motor, they're very quick to rebuild. So we'll have a look at that, and we will be doing a like-for-like comparison against the mini Skywalker, because the mini Skywalker is pretty damn cool. And of course this model is fatally flawed because it has a T-tail. Every T-tail model I've come across has always been a pain in the ass, and the T-tail always falls off. So we'll keep an eye out to see what the T-tail is like. Anyway, time for us to quickly move on to Shout Out Corner. This is where I get time to say good morning to you. And I really need to update this screen and stick a picture of my head in the bottom corner so you can see what I'm doing. You can only imagine what I'm doing here in the background when we're doing Shout Out Corner. Right, let me scroll back up and say good morning, Zenith, and good morning, Julian. Julian, yeah, don't ever apologise for having to work. Work pays for foam, and work makes life bearable because you can go and get foam. So never feel that you need to apologise for that. Legend, good morning. Lauren, good morning as well. I need to ping you later this morning, madam. Keith, good morning. Dave, good morning. Les, Riff, good morning. Sipler, good morning. Spookly's Den, I don't think I've met you before. Good morning, sir. Scrolling on down, Elijah, good morning. Stu Jade, good morning. I hope your knee's a little bit better and you've managed to get off the sofa and not watch, what was it? There was a sport which you were watching. It wasn't cricket, it was something else. Anyway, moving on. Arthur, good morning. Zenith, good morning. Wes, good morning. Henry, good morning. And I think I've been and covered everybody. If I've missed your name, I do apologise. It's not on purpose, I've just missed it in the list. Right, moving on to the next topic, which is the WRA Spec Wing. Now, funny enough, she also might be very ready for flying as well. Now, there are a couple of observations which I've got on this one. Oh, why don't we do this together? Yeah, I 3D printed a little Runcam Swift mini nose cone yesterday off Thingiverse. Oh, geez, that's stuck in there well. And then glued it in overnight, but I've not seen it myself this morning. So I'll tell you what, I'll share this with you first. So I'm having a look at the camera myself as well. So get the tape off. There we go. And we'll have a look at this side as well. So that has come out pretty damn well. Look at that. So that's my little nose cone, which I printed out with PLA yesterday. And good morning, Chris, by the way. And good morning, Joe. I've just spotted some new names up there as well. I'm Mr. Shortman. As well. So yeah, I've 3D printed that out yesterday. It came out really well. I only did it at 60% density because, let's face it, if I break that, then the camera's already broken. So I've glued that in. Now, let me just quickly walk you around this model. I've put the servos there because they just seem to be the right place for them, the servos to be there. I didn't read the manual or anything on it. They just looked like they were going to be a good place. And plus, I knew that when they were that far out, I could get some paint covered over with them. And they, of course, are at 90 degrees to the Elevon surface. As you know, club rules, we will be using the Turnigy. I need to cover my head with that one. There we go. The Turnigy D2826 2200 kV motor. You will also notice the ESC. I am very conscious of weight with this one. That is a Raystar Quad ESC. That's a Raystar 30 amp ESC. I haven't done up the shrink wrap on that one just yet, the heat shrink on that one just yet, because I don't know if the motor's spinning the right way or not. So you've got to leave myself a little bit of balance, haven't you? I have also gone elected on the bottom of the models, put the receiver in there. That will be flush mounted onto the bottom of the wing. All the cabling will be hidden up underneath there. Now, because I am using a quad ESC, the ESC does not have a back in there, and to be honest, it's because this one's always going to be underneath strain because it's going to be one of those full knacker or nothing models. I have wired up a dedicated 3 amp back in there as well. I haven't done the FPV yet, but I have cut out the hole for that, and you're not going to be able to see this very well. So I'll try and point this out. It's not very obvious, but there's a bloody great big hole which I've melted out inside of the fuselage to keep all the wiring inside of the model itself. Again, trying to keep this as aerodynamic as possible. The only one thing which was going to be protruding from this model is the ESC to try and get get as much air as possible over the ESC. So, so far, really enjoying the build. Really straightforward, like really straightforward. What was the other point which I was going to make on this one? I've forgotten now. Oh, that was it. A little observation, okay, is that this wing did come with it was 5mm by 1mm carbon fibre strips. And you'll see those. You've got one going horizontally across here, and then you've got two going down the leading edges. One thing which I have noticed, and I'm going to then diss myself afterwards, is that this wing, even with those carbon in there, there's a lot of flex in this wing. There's a lot of flex in this wing compared to the right wing spec wing, okay? And the reason for the flex is, while this has carbon in it and the other one had glass fibre rods, excuse me, is what the spec wing does is that it puts a rod on the top of the bottle and then inversely on the bottom, and they call it like an I-beam, and it really does make a difference. And there is a substantial difference in the rigidity between this model and the right wing spec model. Now, that I've noticed that there's a lot of flex in there, and again, I'm comparing that to my other spec wing, which is a proven airframe, and I've wrapped it round bushes, trees, hedges, and hit the ground more times than I could freely admit to, you know. But like I said, I was going to diss myself on this one. Every moan or little gripe about this one, I'm just going to reply to myself and to you and say 30 quid. Okay, so anything which I say about that one, the answer is it was 30 quid. So happy days. Right, what have I missed in the chat as well? Good morning, Jeff, by the way. I think I've missed everybody one. Let's have a quick look. Joanne says, might see if Joe, actually, I think you're chatting about something else there. I've just seen your chat going on above my head. Is that what I have forgotten to mention is that the battery bay for this one, I will be putting black core flute on the bottom and then putting carbon rods for it to get extra rigidity back for the hole which I've cut out. And that hole looks like it's on the P on that camera, but really it was measured out straight and enough for the cables to wrap round. So I'll be putting black core flute on the bottom, and then I'll also be making a core flute lid for on the top. And I've got some twisting screws here as well, so I'll be using those to keep the lid down and try and keep this as aerodynamic as possible. So a tiny little bit of wiring needs to be done today. That's only like 10 minutes over there at the soldering station tops, and she will be ready. And again, a little bit of bleed out, and I did use the clear coat approach for that on the wings, but no big stress because I'll just put a Sharpie on it and all will be good. And somebody might ask, I only used the Tower Pro servos in these. I don't think I'm gonna, obviously it's only on 3S, so it's not gonna be that fast, you know. Compared to the Revenge, where I've been and put some Corona 939 MG servos in it, because I know that one's going to be at some insane speeds. Oh, a quick update. I think the guys at the Funny Farm with Dave's Revenge Wing clocked it at 92 miles an hour, 92 and 93 miles an hour on Sunday. So that one really does haul. So I've got my target of 92, 93 miles an hour to smash to pieces. Probably along with the model. Right. Time for us to move on. What was the next up? Oh yeah, the free wing. I ran and grabbed that one because I felt it was important just to give you like a quick update on this one, because I've not put out the maiden video yet. So you will know that I had the free wing arrive here a short while ago, and it's one of those very rare models which, in fact, why don't I just open this one up a sec, and you can see in its fuselage, ready for the reveal. So you'd have to pay 20 quid in the special clubs for this. Anyway, there we go. I've got the Vector in there, part in there at the moment. It is still work in progress. That's where you can see the tape up there, because I was gluing the compass down, the GPS unit down. But she flies absolutely great. One tweak which I've had to make for the Lion pack, especially because I've put extra weight at the back, is that I don't know whether you're going to see this or not. Underneath these pieces just here is that I've had to cut right out underneath so I can fit the Lion pack right down towards the nose. And I really do like the model, so look out for a maiden on that one, because it did fly really, really well for its first couple of flights. I know I've actually did alright for that one, and it's such an aerodynamic little model. It just reeks putting a Vector in it, and it reeks using Lion batteries because of the size of the fuselage. And yeah, I really like it. So look out for a maiden video of that one in the next week or so. because it's definitely going to get thumbs up for me. It's not fast, it's not crazy, but those of you which are looking for a platform where you can get some Lions in there, and you want to keep the Wing format for, what was it, $36? It's a bit of a joke for the price, you know. And of course, it's also nicer than, say, the Wing Z84, whereas that's a brilliant platform, but it's always really cramped trying to get everything in there. There isn't any of that with that model. There's plenty of room to move around, and there's also lots and lots of opportunity to cut the weight down on it as well. Perhaps not use their supplied spar and then only use maybe a 3 by 1 mil carbon fibre strip as the spar to go across. That would be perfectly acceptable to if you were trying to save weight. Maybe not put the plywood base in as well. There's also there's little which you could do actually for the motor mount on the back, but there are areas where you can save weight on that model. Anyway, I really do kind of like it, so look out for that one. Right, Henry says, Vector is not centre, how does that affect flight? So you've just seen Henry's comment, which is there, that one there, Henry's comment, Vector is not centre, how does that affect the flight? Now that is, Henry, a brilliant question. The reason being is that I'm not going to go and get it, but I don't know if you've seen the size of the XUAV Clouds. It's a 1.8 metre wingspan model. It's got a huge, great big fuselage. And we'll say, I'll try and keep this as real as possible. So we'll say that the centre of gravity is here. The vector is, say, here. Okay, so we're a foot, maybe 20, we're that far away, okay, from the centre of gravity for where the vector is sat. And the vector can cope with that. Because it's the vector is in the back pocket, which you've got on the fuselage, and it's well away from the centre of gravity. So Henry, while on face value, so like you've obviously come in from a quad background, I'm guessing, where you would want the flight controller to be in the centre of the model to be able to react, because you've got 4 blades or plus blades spinning around on the top. With the vector, it doesn't really matter. It genuinely does not really matter where it's placed. Now, obviously, if you stuck it in the tail of the model, or you stuck it out on the nose on a boom, that would cause an issue. But in the scheme of things, it's been fine. And the XUAV Clouds is the best example, because it really is that far away from the centre of gravity. And the model flies absolutely fine. So great question, by the way, Henry. Great question. Good morning, Trevor, and good morning, Boris, as well. Just saw two new names pop up in the chat. Right, next. Talon Trio update. Now, my only update for you is that they're still sat there in the box. Banggood made a bit of a family-friendly mistake, and I didn't get my VTEL. So one of the models, which is really frustrating, it's not Banggood's fault, it's XUAV. And why am I able to tell you that it's XUAV? Because 2 boxes came taped together, 1 box had been opened, and they put this leaflet in it, an invoice, inside the box and then taped it back up. It was really obvious that's what's happened. That model was fine. The other box, which was factory sealed, was missing the VTEL fins in there. So it wasn't Banggood's fault, it was XUAV's fault on the packaging side. So yeah, Banggood have been sweet as a nut, and they've sent me some new ones. They also did ask me to write a review on Trustpilot, and I felt a little bit guilty not to do that because they were being so good at the time. So that was a nice little review on Trustpilot this week, which basically said 500 plus orders, really pleased. And yes, there's issue from time to time. There is an issue with delivery. Courier companies are a frigging nightmare. That's the blooming issue. I'm sure they send it out in perfect condition. It just has to go through a couple of mail networks, and we all know what they're like. And those of you which have worked for couriers, you know full well that it's a complete amazement anything actually gets there in one piece at the end. Anyway, let's move on. Was that Sir Bruce? Sir Bruce, good morning, sir. Right, moving on. Next topic. I'm really excited about this one. Let me just put this into context. I watch a YouTube channel called, I'm sure his name's Sean Woods. In fact, you look him up. Okay, he don't need any help. He's got several million subscribers, something ridiculous. Anyway, he does a series called Mousetrap Mondays. I absolutely love him. I quite like the little furry creatures as well, but some of them do get it, you know. But anyway, I just like to see the inventions and what he does. Anyway, I really like the format, so I'm nicking his format, and I'm shameless about this, absolutely shameless. I'm nicking his format, and what we're going to be doing is Model Mondays. Now, just for absolute clarity, they'll probably get published on Monday, and maybe Wednesday as well. I don't really have an issue creating content, and as you might see behind me, I'm not really short on models to do Model Mondays on. So we will be doing a series called Model Mondays, and the goal is that within 5 to 10 minutes we get to look at a model. So we'll take a look at the model, we'll talk about the good points, we'll talk about the bad points if there are any, we'll talk about the components which go in the model, we'll talk how it flies, and we'll try when needed to do a comparison against other models as the case may be. And we will be then rating the model against a set of five different things like value for money, quality of build, quality of components and things like that, fun on the flight line. And we've got a collection of things which will then be rating the model to take an objective look at each model individually. So that's Model Mondays. That starts this Monday. Although those of you which are in the Facebook group, I am 100% sure that you will see the advert-free version being posted there well before Monday. So I'm really excited about that one because I know the format works really well. I just need to bend it to my own uses, and I also see it as a challenge for me to not talk for an hour about a model, to try and compress it down. And to get a nice factual perspective on each individual model. And by the way, to be able to do that, I might need to cut out the comparison piece, because the comparison piece is where everything gets put into context, and we can do that in other places, say here in an RC Coffee Chat, or maybe over in the forums on Facebook, in the Facebook group. Right, let's move on. Which is the... Oh, no! We have new foam in the office. Did anybody guess what that is? Anybody guess what that one is? I'll give you a bit more of a hint. Let me just move it out. Anybody realise what it is yet? Jeff, you should be able to know this one. You've owned one. If you know what it is, let me know in the live chat. If you are watching the recorded version, you can hit pause right now and leave a comment underneath this video while I'm pausing to get my throat back with a sip of coffee. Right. I'm trying to keep an eye on your chat. Anyway, I assume you kind of know what it is. It's a Prime Jet. So Andy messaged me, what was it, last week sometime. It said, Matt, do you want anything from Hobby King? And I made a mistake actually, because I needed some more batteries on top of the ones which I've recently ordered. Glue and go, that's it! You've got it! It's not a K-Fu said it. Oh yeah, we do have a build along series coming along very, very shortly. I just need to work out the dynamics. I need to do a quick prototype here just to make... There's two different ways I can make the K-Fu 2. And I need to test both ways because I don't want to lead us down the garden path and do a completely wrong build on it. So I need to do a quick test build here to see if I can make the wings work, and then we'll do the live series on the build along for the K-Fu 2. Anyway, Andy pinged me and said, Matt, do you want anything from Hobby King? And ironically, I'd already ordered some batteries in one order, and then I had some motors turning up for... Shh, don't tell anybody. And I had some motors turn up for that project, and then I was rooting through, and I sorted by price on planes, and that glue and go one turned up. I was like, well, it's only like 15 quid. Fuck it, yeah, you know. And I got a handy pot round last night, and yeah. I really don't think this thing's gonna last me 5 minutes, and I don't want to do. I know it's not going to be like the toughest model in the world, and I need to do a very well-structured review on this one when we get round to it, because we do need to put it into context, which it was very, very cheap to do. I know where it was copied from, which is the main thing, and yeah, there are some positives to say about this. The foam which they've used is actually really nice. It's not that piece, but the fins which you got here. The foam which they've used is really nice. you can tell they're getting through a lot of these kits because it's like a Depron style foam, and when Depron gets old, it gets very, very brittle. This is very malleable, and as such is probably very, very fresh foam, say maybe cut or manufactured within the last 2 months or so, something like that. So on first impressions, you may be thinking like, Matt, what are you doing? That's got to last you 5 minutes. I will be doing my best to stay reverent with this one. I've got a nice little 1407 motor, which I'm going to pop on the back. 2S all the way, and I think it should be good fun. As far as build goes, well, I might have to get my hot glue gun out. How rare is that? So I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, should be fun. Did it even come? No. No, it came with some carbon. It came with a tube. It came with the push rods. It had all the basics in the kit. A couple of servos. Jobs are good. And looking forward to that one. I might stick a vote in the Facebook group on how long it will last. In fact, I'll do that later this morning. So the Glue and Go series is a little jet. I think it's pretty cool. That's half of it. I think even Matty might be able to do this build for this one. It does look kind of cool. I don't know what the wingspan is. I didn't really care. It was 15 quid. I think that's going to be my answer to any questions about it. It was 15 quid. And yes, categorically, I will be laying all the parts out on a piece of Depron and making spares, because I am 100% sure I will need spares after this thing gets battered and abused. So yeah, a bit of fun. I've always been eyeing out one of these, so it should be fun. And I will keep in the back of my mind, I'm sure, that it's only made out of a bit of a foam board, so if it does go into foam snow, then it's obviously my fault as being a crap pilot. Anyway, let's move on there. Matt, trace it onto core flute and fit a 6S battery. I've got a great big sheet of core flute. That probably would work all right, because there's no complex bends or stuff. I'll do it onto Depron first, and if we move on to core flute later, it could be good fun. And Jeff, I just noticed 7 demo 7 down the bottom there on the live chat. It actually flies well. Yeah, I know. I've seen your video. I still remember you doing a video on it, and it did fly really, really well. So I'm going into this one. Thumbs up. It should be all good. And we must remember it only costs 15 quid, and it's only made a bit of foam board. So all horses for courses, you know. Right, it is time for me to wrap up. Let me just recap everything which we've been and covered in today's live RC coffee chat. Now, remember, if you have joined us late, like Sir Bruce, for example, and one of these does strike out that you would like to go back and watch, remember, you can hit the rewind slider at the bottom and reverse back and go and catch up with the different sections as you see fit. So, topic number 1 was burn bitches. Which unfortunately the missus has sent Sidewinder back, so we're down to 2, and also guilt is kind of like stepped in, and I think with the what was it, the Yago Yak, and the not super kinetic, is that I'll give them to my daughter, and if they get smashed up, then heck, we'll all laugh together because we'll probably get it on film. We spoke about the Revenge. What did I do with the Revenge? She was here somewhere. She is looking good. You wait, and again, I think you've already seen the size of the motor we're going to be sticking on the back of that one. Really looking forward to this one. We know they haul ass. Oh, apparently Rob emailed me from Flying Wings yesterday saying he's back in the workshop today and he's going to put some more up for sale. So if you've gone to the Flying Wings site and they've been out of stock, then check there today and they should be in stock now. So just give you a heads up on that one. Remember, I am in no way affiliated with flyingwings.co.uk. I just like it because that costs 40 quid. 40 quid. And their spec wing costs 30 quid, which we'll chat about in a moment. So just put things into perspective there. Bird or turd? Yes. If you have not seen the vote in the FaceBalls group yet, nip across there. We do have a bird or turd vote going on there at the moment. Let me know what you think of that one, because it's only, what, $35. Should be a laugh. No idea how bad it's going to be. Or, inversely, how good it could be. You know? Hopes are high. Austin set the tone for that one. He loves his Mini Skywalker, and this one looks like a Mini Skywalker, so in his head, it's got to be all good. So we'll find out on that one. We spoke about, losing my voice, We spoke about the spec wing as well. She's coming along. Any complaints about this one? The answer is it was 30 quid. We'll get that one out of the way. We then spoke about the free wing. I won't be throwing this one because it's made of EPO foam and it's got some expensive electronics in it. I do like the free wing. Look out for the maiden video later this week. I need to get that one out. It will be posted first in the Facebook group. What was it? 35 something dollars. And just look, that's the reason why I like it, is because you've got a great big bay in there. It's not uber deep, but it's enough for you to get a Vector in it and a 4S Lion pack. You could even fit potentially maybe a 5S Lion pack in there if you put the battery round on the top as well. So I do like it, not for the normal reasons. It's not fast, it's not loud, it's not crazy, but it's floaty, and it means I can sit back with the goggles on and enjoy a sunrise or two. Okay, so moving on. The Talent Trian update. No update on that one just yet. However, yes, last night we came up with the idea is the electrical conduit, the plastic stuff. I've got some PVC weld stuff, because we don't want the models to like move around too much. So to get around that, we're going to use PVC tubing, but I will glue 2, maybe 3 pieces together so that we get the rigidity back. And the reason for using the PVC tubing is because it's very light. We then spoke about Model Mondays. They will be starting this Monday. Those of you which are in the Facebook group, you will be seeing them before they go live, of course. That's the way the things work. And of course, remember, the videos which I post in the Facebook group are always advert free. So yeah, Model Mondays, looking forward to that. I am working with a couple of different people at the moment to sort out some discount codes or some special codes or bonuses or something like that for a couple of really, really good models. So I will give you like a heads up. I will be starting with the Right Wing Hardcore 44. It's a model now which I've had here for a very, very long period of time and flies so great. So it's due some praise again. And that's one of the models which we will be starting with. We had some new foam board which has turned up. Looking forward to this. I think the review will be, it cost 15 quid and took no more than a bit of glue, and it comes with the basic parts. That's happy days. Looking forward to building that one. Shh, don't tell anyone. Right, that was today's RC Coffee Chat topics. Will it flap or crap? That's a good one. I'm going to use that one. Right. It is time for me to go. I would like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to join us for today's live RC Coffee Chat. Remember, if you are watching the recorded version, you can pass any comments or questions you may have down in the comments section underneath this video. There is a link to the Rag the Nuts Off Facebook group in the video description as well. You can join a community of 2,500 plus pilots, the cool guys over in the Facebook group, where if you've got any questions or comments, we can continue the discussion over there. On that note, if you've enjoyed today's live RC Coffee Chat, do me a favour, press the thumbs up. If this is your first time here, don't forget to press the subscribe button underneath this video. It's a little red button, click that one. And if you'd like to be notified of when, say, Model Monday is being released, or hey, we get the review out on the free wing, or maybe we have a laugh about the glue and glow wing, press the little bell icon and choose an appropriate option. So with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for joining us. I shall see you again shortly. Cheerios!